Hello UPSC aspirants. Today we're going to discuss an important article where the World Economic Forum has released the Global Gender Gap Index, and in this index India ranks about 131st out of the 146 countries that has been present. Now if you see in 2024 our rank was 129 and now we have been slipped by 3 places that's been there. Now we are 131st rank that is being present. Though the value that is being present last year it was 64.1%, but right now it is 64.4%. Though the value has been increased, our rank has been reduced. Now if you see the background about where the different sub-index performances have been present. Now we can see we have 4 different sub-index performances that have been calculated. One is the economic participation, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment that's been present. And now if you see the rank and the score that is being present, the overall score is 0.64 that has been there, the 131st rank, and the sub-index that's been present, economic participation, we are having around 40% that is being present, where we are ranking 141, 144. And we have educational attainment where we have been accordingly our improvement has been increased in this sector where the education is been around 0.97. Then we have health and survival. Even in this sector there is an increase of the index that we have been observed, but we have observed a declining presence is being there with the political empowerment that's been there. It is around 0.2 that's been there. Now index, if you see if it is 0, it is imparity is being more, whereas the 1 is where we have the parity is being present more. Now if you see what are the different data that is being showing how there is a gap that is being created with the women that is being present. Now if you see, according to National Family Health Survey of 2019 and 21, around 47% of the women that is being under the 15 to 49 age are anemic in nature, and we have a skewed sex ratio and maternal health concerns have been present. According to Periodic Labour Force Survey of 2023 and 24, the labour force participation is around 41%. Though the population of the women is more than around 50% that's been there, the labour force participation is less than 50, less than 45% that's been present. And the self-employment rate has increased overall around 67%, and in 73.5% is what the rural areas that's been there. And we know that the labour force participation in the rural area is comparatively higher. But when we come towards the woman who is owning the land or agricultural land that is being present, not even 15% of the women here are being owning an agricultural land in the rural areas. Now this is showing a particular gap that is being created, and when we see the wage gap that is being created in the self-employment and in the woman earning that's been there, per day the woman is averagely earning 294 that's been there, whereas men has been earning 383. This is where we have around approximately 100 rupees difference has been present per day wage that's been there. And the literacy rate has been increased more due to various government initiatives that have been present. Now when we see the challenges that are being associated, why there is such a gender gap that is being created. The first one, we can come up with the labour market gaps that have been there. We have very low labour force participation that is being present. We have large amount of unpaid work. We have traditionally the care services have been associated with the women, whereas we have poor health indicators that have been there. The women health is given the secondary priority in many of the households that have been there. Then we have large amount of skewed child sex ratio that is being present. Then we have political underrepresentation that has been there. Now you can see according to the survey here, in this one we can see that the political empowerment has actually declined, where women MPs from 13.8% that's been there and the ministers are just 5.6% that's been present. Though when we see the political participation, the voter count that's been there in 2024, rather than the male, we have the women participation in the voter count has been more, but the political representation has been declining in age. Now when we come towards the measures that has to be taken to decrease this gender gap in India, first, there should be like an economic empowerment that's been there. We have to have more amount of flexible work age or work limits that are being present. We should have equal pay should be encouraged. We also have to have supportive entrepreneurship that should be present. Second, health. This we should have, as we have seen, large amount of women have been suffering from anemia, less amount of access to the health services have been there. The health, we have to focus on improving the nutrition that's been present, reproductive health, and also reducing the early marriages that have been there. Then when we come towards the education, large amount of government schemes and all are being promoting the girl child education. Along with that, we have to increase the women's participation in the STEM education, adult literacy that's been present, and we have to always challenge the stereotypes that have been there. Then we have politics that have been there. Women participation has to be increased in the politics so that the women-centric rules, regulations, and the schemes can be enhanced more, and the problems of the women can be represented more accurately in the parliament. Then we have institutional changes where we have to more inclusively, we have to include the gender budgeting, the better data collection should be present, community engagement should be present. So these are some of the things that we can take up so that the gender gap in India can be reduced. Thank you.